Shalom Israel, World ISBK started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Johanna. The ISBK been established since 1969, teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they are the true Israelite according to the Bible. The ISBK is not affiliated with any other Israelite group. On today's ISBK Chattanooga scripture breakdown, if you're a black, Hispanic, and it's like if you're a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, we urge you not to celebrate no 4th of July, man. Do not celebrate no 4th of July, because if you look back in history and see where the Independence Day came about, what was our people still doing during that time when America was going to war with Great Britain and they defeated Britain in the 1800s to declare the Independence Day? And what was our ancestors still doing during that time in 1776? Was our ancestors free, or they were still picking cottons? A lot of people do not know history, and a lot of our people be like, "Oh, that had nothing to do with me. That was in the past. I wasn't there." But it still affects you, though. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man, it's still gonna affect you. Because if you know the deep history of the origin of Independence Day in the American Constitution, it will say that all men is equal, is created equal, but except black men. If you're a black man, they still consider you till this day 3/5 of a man, meaning that they only looked at you during that time in independence. Then when they declared the independence in 1776, that you was nothing but a property, man. Like you were just a possession that anytime they want to get disposed of you, they get rid of you. You wasn't nothing to them. So when they was talking about all men are created equal, they was not talking about you, man. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man, because our ancestors was still in them cotton fields day in and day out. Sun up and sun up, still picking cotton, still getting whipped in the back, still getting lynched. So when they're talking about everybody is equal, created equal, they're not talking about you. That's why a lot of people, a lot of our people need to learn their history, man, before they go celebrating 4th of July, before they start. And we see why every time we celebrate 4th of July, something terrible always happens. Because the Most High letting you know that you're not supposed to be celebrating the holiday of the oppressor. You're not supposed to be doing what they're doing. You're not supposed to be following their culture. Let the oppressor celebrate their holidays. Black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, you got your own high holy days. And they are written in the scriptures. So you see each and every time we trying to do it, something terrible always happen. Like your house getting burnt down, you getting hit in the eye with the fireworks until it blow your eyes out. Then that's the Most High letting you know that you're not supposed to be celebrating this type of holiday, and that's another form of putting another God before the Most High, because you worshiping the American God, You worshiping their God, and that's not what our ancestors was praying for, man. Our ancestor was not. When our ancestors saw that, they was praying for the chair to swing down. When they was in them cotton fields, when America declared independence from Great Britain, our ancestor was singing for the Most High to destroy these people, man. They was not singing to celebrate no 4th of July with the oppressor, because they knew what was going on. They knew what the oppressor was doing to them during that time. So we're gonna read an article. Say, for Black Americans, Independence Day is complicated. July 4th celebration remains July 4th celebration reminds some Black Americans of America, so the racial past. On July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed, marking the continent's independence from Great Britain. But some 75 years later, some Black Americans weren't ready to celebrate. Abolitionist movement leader Frederick Douglass gave a sketching speech the day after Independence Day in 1852, saying, "This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, I must mourn. Do you mean, citizen, to mock me by asking me to speak today?" So Frederick Douglass, he knew what was happening, man. He knew during that time that our people were still slaves, man. Our people were still picking cotton, still in them cotton field. It's hot as hell outside. When America declared the Independence Day, when they signed that paper, our people were still getting whooped in the back, man. You were still getting being chased down by the police, by the slave patrol to bring back slaves that revolt against the American. You know, so now he that's why he's saying this 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, but I must mourn. He said he going you going this your 4th of July. That ain't mine. This ain't my independence. Cause while y'all declaring y'all independence, we were still in slavery. We were still picking cottons. I'm going to mourn while you rejoice because this is your day. This ain't my day. I'm still a slave. He knew they were still a slave, but our people don't see that. Cause our people think this is the American dream. America's all about them. That's why they give you Juneteenth so you can forget about everything that happened to you. And then the next and right around 4th of July, you're gonna see what our people do, man. And that's one thing America know around that time, that black people, we are the biggest consumer of fireworks, man. We spend more money than anything, man. When it comes to that fireworks, when it comes to any oppressive holiday, we will spend more money. We're the biggest consumer in the United States, in the country. So now that's why they know that they must get you to celebrate their holiday. Because if we stop celebrating their holiday, that means we're not spending our money with them. We ain't giving them our money. So they don't love you, black men. They just want your money. But our people don't see that because your Christian leader would be like, "Oh, this is our independence. This is you are free. You're not a slave." Because they don't know the history of the Declaration of Independence. They don't know when it was signed. They don't know what America said, and yet they claim that we had a black president, but Obama is not black. He's an African American, and if he was for the black people, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, he would have changed that constitution. He would have changed where it said you black men is nothing but 3/5 of a man. They would not consider you no property or none of that. But did he go up and change it? No, because he know he's not our people. He know who his people is, and he know who you are. So he ain't changing. So Frederick Douglass said, "This your 4th of July. This ain't mine, man. I'm gonna mourn for all the things that you done did to my people and me during that time, during the time of slavery, during the time of you getting your independence. You had all people out there picking cotton from sun up to sun up. And not only that, not only old man, but you had little kids out there, little children's out there. And yet our people still got the nerve to celebrate the holiday of these oppressed, man, to celebrate this goddamn 4th of July, not knowing what 4th of July is really about, not knowing what was the origin, was the meaning about behind it. Was it meant for us? Was it meant for them? That's why I said, do you mean citizen to mark me? Because he know they was not talking about him. They don't call they don't consider American citizen. They consider themselves as American citizen. That's why he said, when you say a citizen, are you saying that to mock me? Because you already said I'm a 3/5 of a man. I am nothing but a property. He said, Douglas reminding listeners that when the Declaration of Independence was signed, many blacks were still slaves. Even the British were more likely to offer freedom to blacks than the colonists. And he knew that while they were signing the Declaration of Independence, he said many people were still slaves back then, man. And the British, they so-called that they gonna offer you freedom, but you can't trust the oppression. Like the Bible say, his rod are smoother than butter, man. They're gonna talk sweet to you, they're gonna tell you nice things until they get hold of you. Then you're gonna go right back being a slave. Them people was not finna enslave you, man. That's just the oppressor trying to get you on to be on their side so they could oppress you even more. Just like like especially when it comes to the election days, they're going to sweet talk you, tell you what you want to hear. As soon as you vote for them, as soon as you join their side, bam, they get you where they want you at. And then they're gonna just be like, look, they fell for the trick each and every time. And that's what our people do. We fall for the same trick over and over and over, man. It's in our fast forward to 2012. where many black Americans still remember Douglas' sentiment. But yeah, they remember it, but that don't mean they're gonna change. That don't mean they're gonna stop celebrating the 4th of July. All our people know, we tell our people over and over, 4th of July was not meant for you, man. If you're a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, it was never meant for you. None of these things was meant for you, black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. And we're gonna show you in the scripture where God is against you celebrating the holidays of the oppressed of these other nations, man. Okay. He said, now Chris Rock made his feelings known more plainly Wednesday. Hours before celebrated fireworks went off across the nation. The comedian wrote on Twitter, that was 2012. He said, complicated or not, some black Americans find reason to celebrate the holiday. No matter if they know it's the history, the dark history of Independence Day, all people still gonna find some type of way, like they do for every holiday. Oh, it's for the kids, or it's for a family to come together, or we doing this, blah, blah, blah. We ain't celebrating the oppressive, whatever, but we doing it for the kids. Yes, he right. All people do find all type of reason. They come up with all type of excuses to celebrate the holiday of the oppressor. It's either it's for the kids, it's either that for the family to come together, nonsense like that. But not understanding the dark history of it, and even though they may know the dark history of it, they just don't know the way of following Christianity. And Christianity is like a hell of a drug. You can't get off of it, man. And that's what your Christian pastor will tell you. Oh, don't it's not, it ain't no, it ain't paganism, it ain't devil, all that nonsense. They tell you go celebrate. The Christian pastor will tell you go celebrate it. Okay, it's in the Washington Times, Stacy Swift notes that at least 5,000 black men fought for the Continental Army against the British. Men who believed that freedom from Britain would ultimately result in their freedom from slavery. So now they fighting the war against Britain. You know, that's what that if you look at it, all the wars black people been in it for fighting for America. We've been on the front line for this country. And yet this country still treat us like we are nothing. They still treat us like second citizen. They still treat us like we're nothing but three-fifths of a man. But we fight and fight and fight over for this country. And we thinking that getting freedom, now over 5,000 men was fighting thinking that if we get freedom from the Britain, that means we get freedom from America. But what they did not know that America was not finna give them no freedom. The oppressor was not finna give them no freedom, man. They were still finna be slaves. Like it just said. When they got their independence, our people were still picking cottons. They were still slaves. You was not free, but that's what they thought in their mind, that they was going to be free. That it means freedom for them. As long as they fight for America, as long as they fight for the oppression, and they win when they win this war, that means they're gonna be free. Newsflash, no. Our people still out there. Not only that, you come from the army, you getting lynched on with your army clothes on. You still got your little kids out there picking cotton. So you was not gonna get free. The mind of our people thinking that when they fight this war, they was finna be free from slavery. That did not happen. Simp also named black founding father he believes should be remembered on the 4th. And he pointed out that while slaves weren't free at that time of the Declaration, it is as a result of that document that every American under the U.S. Constitution is equal, guarantee individual freedom. So they think that every American, which they did not know about the amendments, under the U.S. Constitution is equally granted individual freedom. except if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. You wasn't even getting no freedom. We wasn't free out of slavery. We still ain't free, but so-called free, and later, like years upon years afterwards. So, so you was not free, Black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. You were still a slave, man. You were still a slave. So we telling our people, do not celebrate this holiday, man. Do not celebrate because it means nothing for you. It have nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with your ancestors. Because your ancestor was still slave during that time, still picking cotton. Give me a second. Bear with me. Right. Lucky. I know I've seen it somewhere. I had it. Mm, I've seen it somewhere around here. But anyway, we'll get back to that if I could find this. But anyway, we're gonna go to the scriptures. I'll find that article later. We're gonna go to the book of Baruch in the Apocrypha, chapter 3, verse 4. We went to the book of Baruch in the Apocrypha, chapter 3, verse 4. The book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 4. O Lord Almighty, thou art God of Israel, hear now the praise of the dead Israelite and of their children, which have sinned before thee, and not hearken unto the voice of their God, of thee, their God, for the which cause these plagues cleave unto us. He said, hear the voice of these, hear the voice of hear the prayer of the dead Israelite and their children. Our ancestors, when they was in slavery, man, they wasn't praying for us to join hand with America. They ain't praying, they wasn't singing, they wasn't praying for us to be created equal, because there's no equality in the scripture. The Most High chose his people, blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian, to be above all nations. So our people, when they was in that cotton field, when America signed that Declaration of Independence, they wasn't praying for us to be joining America, man. They was praying for the Most High to destroy this place, for the Most High to swing them, let them chariots come to get them up out of here, man. Our dead ancestor was not praying for these things, man. But now it's like a slap to our ancestors, because our people, this generation is knowing that what our people went through and still going through to this day. They're gonna find a way, a type of excuse to go celebrate 4th of July. And they know the dark history of what happened, what America done did to blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian. All the gator base, having little kids out there in the sun picking cotton from sun up to sun up. It's like a slap to our ancestor face, man. Because that's why I say, oh Lord Almighty, thou art God of Israel. Hear now the praise of the dead Israelite and of their children, man. Our ancestors was not praying for this. But our people right now, it's like they stepping on our ancestors' grave. It's like a slap to their face, man. Because you want to go out there and celebrate. And America know that you, as black people, we are the biggest consumer, man. We're going to spend money, $1,000 upon $1,000 on fireworks just to celebrate a day that have nothing to do with us, man. This day had nothing to do with our ancestors. Our ancestors was going through it during the time when the Declaration of Independence was signed. They tell you that you was created, they tell you that all men was created equal, except if you're a black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. But you was considered 3/5 of a man, nothing but a property. So whenever they done with you, they could dispose of you, man. They ain't look at you like you was a human. They ain't look at you like you was nobody, man. They thought that you was like less to them. Until this day, they still got that in their constitution. It still haven't changed. They still look at you like you're nobody, man. But yeah, we want to go and celebrate 4th of July. Like, when was you free? You think you free, and we still not free till this day. We're still in the land of our captive right now. So why are you celebrating the independence of a nation or of another nation that had nothing to do with you? They had you in slavery in 1716 when they got their freedom from Great Britain, when they got their independence from Great Britain, and we helped them fight Great Britain. Over 5,000 of us was fighting over that, thinking that getting freedom from Great Britain means the end of slavery. But that did not happen. When they got their independence from Great Britain, they still kept our people in chains. They still kept our people in them cotton fields. Ain't nothing changed. Until this day, we still fighting for these people over and over and over and over, and then celebrating this Independence Day. Like, when was you free? It's just basically like a slap to our ancestors' face, man. That's all we doing. No. Which have sinned before thee, and not hearken unto the voice of thee, thy God. And we still sinning till this day, man. Which we have sinned in front of the Most High, and we still sinning to this day. We're going to sin this week coming up. 4th of July coming up. And by you celebrating 4th of July, it's basically another form of worshiping another God. And the Most High hate when you worship another God. And our people should see that right now, that no matter what type of holiday we celebrate, something tragic always happens. Something bad always happens. You go pop them fireworks, your house get burnt down. You go pop them fireworks, your car get burnt down. Or you get hit with a firework in your eye or somewhere else. Because the Most High is showing you that black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, you're not supposed to be doing these things. You're not supposed to be celebrating the holidays of another nation. They have nothing to do with you, and especially have nothing to do with you being free. Because you wasn't free at that time. You know? And some people thinking that even if they joined Britain, that they were gonna get freedom from Britain. Nah, man. Them oppressors were just finna use you to fight America. You go back to Britain, you still end up in slavery again. That's why you should never trust your oppressor. That's why you should never trust your enemy. Because like the scripture says, his word is smoother than butter, man. He gonna talk nice to you. He gonna sweet talk you just like the Native Indian when they got over here. You know, they sweet talk. They sweet talk to the Indian, the Native Indian, welcome them with open arms, show them how to survive, show them how to hunt, and what they did, they murdered 77 million Native Indians. And you think Britain is going to do the same thing? They're the same people. They're the same people descended from the same men. So what makes you think that you are finna be free if you go to Britain? What makes you think just because you fight in America war that you're going to be free? You see you look at history, man. We fight for these people and come home and still get lynched on the trees, still get lynched in our army uniform. That lets you know America does not care about you. They never have and never did, man. And we're going to continue sinning against the Most High and continue celebrating this holiday that have nothing to do with us. And the Most High going to continue punishing us until we get it right. Because we still going to sin, man. All people think Juneteenth was meant for them to turn around, go celebrate the 4th of July. Juneteenth was meant for you, black man. But look what they associate Juneteenth with. The LGBTQ. Now it's supposed to be for you, but now they letting the oppressors off work. And any nation come in Juneteenth, which is supposed to be for you. And guess who they making money off of? You. Now you turn around and go celebrate 4th of July. Guess who they making money off? You. Because you finna spend thousands of dollars on these fireworks. And you're gonna say, oh, it's for the kids. Oh, it's for the family to come again. So you'll find any type of reason just to celebrate it. And you know the dark history behind it. But all people you're gonna have to learn the hard way, man. That means you're gonna have to learn the hard way. And then it's gonna be too late, because next thing you know, your house on fire. You done lost half of your house due to the fire. Your car don't end up getting set on fire because something went wrong in the fire, and it hit a spark, it hit some type of thing, and your car catch on fire, or or firework backfire, or the thing backfire on you and hit you in your face, or hit you in your eye. Now you can't see out your eyes. That's the Most High showing you, man. That's the Most High letting you know, why are you doing it? Why are you celebrating these things? He gave you on your high holy days. They're in the scripture. They're in the Bible. These are the days that we're supposed to be remembering. These are the days that we're supposed to be keeping, man. Not keeping the holidays of the oppression, doing what you see the other nations do. For the which cause these plagues cleave unto us. The more we sin, man, the more these plagues gonna cleave unto us, man. The more these diseases, the more all these, everything that the Most High sent to destroy these other nations, they're gonna cleave unto you also. Cause why you partaking in what these other nations doing? And the Most High trying to destroy them, but here you is want to be part of it, want to be part of America, want to be part of this society. So you're gonna take part of this plagues that's coming to America, that's coming to these other nations. Because you're joining hand in hand with these other nations. You're joining with their army. You're joining they partaking in their feast of celebration, whatever they got going on. So these plagues gonna cleave onto you also. But we telling you, stop doing that. If you're a black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man, you don't need to be celebrating these holidays, man. That's what we tell our people each and every day. Get a fly, get in class. Know your culture, know your culture. Know what you're supposed to be looking up. Know what you're supposed to be remembering. Now we're going to go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. It's basically like a slap to our ancestor face, man, when we sit here and celebrate these holidays, man. Because you know what our ancestors was going through that time, man. They was going through some hard time, and you want to sit here and decide to say, okay, it's 4th of July, it's Independence Day, but whose independence? Is it your independence? Was it our ancestor independence? No, it was not none of our independence, man. Because we still don't have independence. What independence you have in America, black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, for you to go out there, light up a firecracker and screaming around happy Independence Day, happy 4th of July, getting all dressed up, red, white, and blue. Like, what how is that your independence? It's not your independence, man. You helped them fought that war, but at the end, they sent you right back in them cotton fields to pick cottons. So you wasn't free. They didn't say the Constitution was about you. The Constitution was not about you. We're going to go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. It says, envy thou not the oppressor, nor choose none of his way. Don't envy the oppressor, man. Don't try what you see the oppressor do, man. Don't trying to do like what he do, man. Because the way he got this land, do not trying to be like him. So don't envy him. Don't try to be like him, man. Don't want what he want. Because this type of holiday they celebrate, they got a dark past behind it. They know what they celebrating. They know why they celebrating these holidays for, man. And they know it's paganism. They know it's a form of worshiping another God. And you want to envy them and try and start worshiping their holiday. And he said, do not choose none of their ways, man. Stop doing what you see these other nations do, man. Because you want to be part of it. You want to be accepted by these other nations, and you want to please these other nations. So you take up their culture. You follow their ways. You marry their children, their daughters, or you marry their sons just to be accepted, just to be loved. Because you see what we went through, what we're going through, and we still going through it to this day. The Most High said, do not choose none of his way, man. Don't choose the way of the oppressor. Because the way of the oppressor is going to lead you to your destruction. Going to lead you to your demise, black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. And we're telling you these things because we love our people. We want our people to not be partake of this judgment that's coming to America. Because it's coming swiftly, man. And we don't want you to be part of that. So we tell them, do not choose none of this way. That's why we tell them, do not celebrate the 4th of July. Because it have nothing to do with you, never had and never will have nothing to do with you. So don't envy the oppressor, man. And who's the oppressor? The so-called oppressor, the so-called Caucasian man. He's the one that's oppressing you, black man, Hispanic and Native Indian man. He's the one that's oppressing you, man. But yet, you want to think you're an American. You don't think that you're a citizen, like Frederick Douglass say. This is your 4th of July, not mine. You may rejoice. I'm quoting what he said. He said, "This is your 4th of July, not mine." He letting them know this ain't my 4th of July. This is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, I may mourn. Meaning that he mourning for what he been through, what his people been through during that time, man. During that time of Declaration of Independence was signed. During the time of the Independence Day. You know. And he said, when you say citizen, it's to mark me. Meaning that you calling me a citizen, but it's like marking me. Because you consider me 3/5 of a man. And when you say all men are created equal, he know they was not talking about him. He know when they say you're an American citizen, they was not talking about him. That's why he said it's to be marking him. They marking you when they call you a U.S. citizen or when you call yourself a U.S. citizen, man. All people knew was what happened to them, man. But yet, they still find some type of ways to choose the way of the oppressor, to choose his way, to go follow what they see the oppressor do. You know, the Most High say, envy not thou oppressor, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways, man. So don't choose the way of the oppressor, man. Choose the way of the Most High. Keep his law, statutes, and commandment. That's the way you should choose, man. That's who ways you should choose. Don't choose what you see the oppressor do because you want to be loved, because you see what our people been going through for over 400 years. And we've been giving our love to the same people for over 400 years, and still we get nothing in return but lynching, unaliving on these streets, all people strung out on drugs, Mexican children in cages on the border. So now, whose independence is the Mexican gonna have independence that's in them cages? Are they gonna be free when 4th of July come about? No, they still in them cages till this day, separated from their parents. And different presidents stepped in and still ain't do nothing about it. Why the hell would y'all have children in cages anyway? Like they some type of animals. Like, and y'all still got them on the border in the cages and not letting them go. Like they some type of criminals. I mean, these like babies, and they got them in cages. Where their independence at? Where they freedom at? But yet all people gonna turn around and celebrate the 4th of July. And not seeing what all people going through. We should never choose the ways of the oppressor, man. We should never try to be like them. Never should join hand in hand with them. Because they ain't gonna love you, black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. If you black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, do not celebrate these holidays. Because these holidays mean nothing to you, man. They ain't gonna profit you nothing. What they gonna profit you? Only thing it's gonna do is make a dent in your pocket, make a hole in your pocket, because you're gonna be spending thousands of dollars. You know, each time you celebrate something, or next thing you know, you broke, can't pay your bill, can't pay your rent. We're gonna go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 51, verse 23. We're going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 51, verse 23. But but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to my soul, bow down that we may go over. And thou hast, and though thou hast laid thy bodies on the has the ground has in the street to them that went over. And it's like basically this basically like they're telling you to bow down to them, man. When you celebrate 4th of July, it's you bowing down to the oppressor. When you're going out there popping them fireworks, it's you bowing down to the oppressor, man. So they telling you to bow down. That's another way for you to worship them, especially worship their God. And that's another way for them to oppress you even more. That's why the Most High I will put in their hands that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. So basically, they just stepping over you, man. They still got that's another way of them putting their foot on your neck, because you doing what they do. You worshiping what they worship. You following their culture. So basically, it's just another way of them walking over you, man. They found since you're not in them chain mentally or physically, they got you mentally in your mind. You always gonna bow down to them because you think you're free, but now you go celebrate their holiday. What you think you're doing? When you celebrating their holiday, you bowing down to them, and they just stepping over you, man. No matter what they do to you, out there shooting you 60 times, oppressing you. It's 2023, you getting lynched on the trees, and they tell you your soul to bow down to you. Bow down. They telling you bow down. They don't have to say verbally. By you celebrating their holidays, it's you bowing down to them, and they stepping over you, because you're not celebrating you're not upholding the laws of the Most High. You're not upholding the high holy days of the Most High. But you bound down to the oppressor, man. You bound down to their God. And what you think the Most High gonna do? He gonna, you just angering the Most High. You just provoking the Most High to anger even more. Because he said he's a jealous God, man. If you put another God before him, he's a jealous God. But you bound down to the oppressor, man. Each time you celebrate their holidays, you bound down to them. They don't have to beat you no more. They don't have to, do none of these things to you. They don't have to put no chains around your hands no more to tell you to bow down. You do it mentally. You do it in your spirit by you, popping fireworks, eating Thanksgiving, Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day. That's you being, step over. You bowing down to them. That we may go over, and though has they laid thy bodies has the ground and has the street to them that went over. So it's basically like you just like a sidewalk, man. You just like a sidewalk that they just could walk over anytime. No matter what they do to you, you're gonna always love them. You're gonna always give your love to them. You're gonna always forgive them. So they know they could do whatever they want to you, man. And you're gonna come right back and bow down to them. And they're like, no matter what we do to these people, because we so mentally destroyed from all the oppression that we've been going through in America, and from listening to your Christian pastor talking about you must forgive everybody, that the oppressor no matter what they do to you, no matter how many times you get oppressed, no matter how much you beg and protest, they know you're gonna come right back and bow down to them. They know that. Because it's been going on it's still going on till this day. It's still going on till this day. They could do whatever they want to you, and you're gonna come right back and forgive them and love them. They still going, it's like basically they just stepping over you, man. They still got their foot on your neck. They still gonna have their knee on your back. Each time you worship holidays is them having their knees on your back, having their foot on your neck. Each time you bow, each time you celebrate their holiday, and you still, it's like you being oppressed more and over and over. Each time you're gonna keep being oppressed, man. So if you're a black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, we telling you, stop doing what you see these other nations do, man. Stop doing what you see society do, man. Stop taking on the culture of America. Do not celebrate the 4th of July. If you tired of being oppressed, because they know they could give you Juneteenth, February, and then turn around, you celebrate they holiday. Like you was part of it. Like you was part of the 4th of July. Like you was part of the Independence Day. You were not part of it, man. You were still out there picking cottons. So now we're going to go to the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 4. He said, the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. He said, the wicked, man, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek God, man. Will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. And who's the wicked? Who is prideful right now, man? Which nation of people is so prideful that they think they're above any nation? They think they're above God. They think they are God. That they think nothing's going to happen to them. Nothing's going to befall them. So that's why you don't see them celebrate. You don't see them, they don't seek after the Most High. They don't serve the Most High. That's why they change the law of the Most High. That's why they oppose the law of the Most High. That's why they do the opposite of the law of the Most High. Most High tell you not to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. What they tell you, that pork is a delicate meat. It's a delicacy. They tell you eating that shrimp, that lobster, that means you balling, because you eating that lobster tail. They tell you to stop being, most I say stop being a homosexual. What they give you a whole month of a homosexuality for all men, women that infatuated with each other, that's lusting after each other, to do whatever they want, and nobody can do nothing or say nothing about it. Well, it'll be considered a hate crime. They give them a whole law, a whole month for it, man. Which they connect the tied to Juneteenth, which is supposed to be the day black people got free off of slavery, but yet they'll associate that with that. They don't serve God. They don't seek after God. That's why they tell you that the law is done away with. That's why they tell you there is no God, because they think they God, because they so prideful. That's why they say, can't nobody bring them down. Who's going to bring me down? Almost I say he's going to bring them down. They are wicked as hell. That's why I say the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God, man. America's so proud. That's why now, back in the day, they said Bible in the school. Now they took them all out, Now they thinking they above God. That's why they don't seek after God. That's why they think they God, man. This is their kingdom. They think they're above the Most High. They think they're above the Most High. That's why he said through his pride, man. That's why he's saying in his heart, who gonna bring me down? Who shall bring me down? The Most High said it's like he gonna bring him down. The Most High said he gonna destroy him, man. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I seen that junk somewhere, man. Okay, I got something to say. Fascinating facts about the U.S. Constitution. And this is an article called constitutionfacts.com. Like seeing where and now this one our people were still, after they got their independence and stuff. The Constitution Day is celebrated on September 17th, the anniversary of the day the farmer signs the document. The Constitution does not set forth requirements for the right to vote. As a result, at the outmost of the Union, only male property owners could vote. African American were not considered citizen, and women were excluded from the electoral process. Native American were not given the right to vote until 1924. So you were not considered no citizen, man. That's why Frederick Douglass said, "You mocking me by calling me a citizen." You were not considered no citizen, man. Because the Constitution, when they signed it, had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with you, black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. So when it was ratified in 1787, the Constitution ensuring the institution of slavery through the so-called three-fifth compromise. Now, this way you get the three-fifth at. During the time the Constitution was being signed, that's when they were calling you the three-fifth compromise, which called for those bound to serve for a term of years and all other person, meaning slave, to be counted for representation purpose as three-fifths of free people. The word slavery, however, did not appear in the Constitution until the 1865 ratification of the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery in the United States. So they was considered you three-fifths of a man, man. and it's still not taking off yet. So why it's not taking off? Because they still think of you as a property, man. That's what they look at you, black man, Hispanic and Native Indian man. And so why you thinking you free? Why you thinking that this Constitution, this Independence Day was written for you, man? It was not. It had nothing to do with you. Let's see. Yeah, man, you will not consider no. You will not free, black man, Hispanic, Native Indian man. They still consider you 3/5 of a man, and you still 3/5 of a man. Mm. So now we're gonna go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. He said, "Hear the word which the Lord spoke unto you, O house of Israel." Verse 2. "Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them." So the Most High is talking to the children of Israel, because the law was given to the children of Israel. The Most High say, learn not the ways of the heathens, man. The heathens are the northern nation, non-Israelite. If you're not a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you're a heathen. The Most High said, do not be like them. Learn not their ways, man. Meaning, stop celebrating their holidays. Stop doing what you see they doing, man. Stop partaking in whatever abomination act that they doing, man. Stop celebrating 4th of July. Stop eating that pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, man. Stop being homosexual. He said, do not learn not the ways of the heathen, man. For they are dismayed at the stars. They study the star. They see this. They worship the stars, man. These other nations, they worship the stars. He said, do not be dismayed at the sound of, do not be dismayed at the sound of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them. So the Most High said, do not learn their ways, man. Do not be like them. Don't be like this other nation. Don't be like America. Don't be like this society, man. Don't do what you see these other nations do, but rather do what the Most High tell you to do, man, which is keep his law, statutes, and commandment, which is to keep his high holy days, man. Those are the days that you're supposed to remember. Those are the days that you're supposed to celebrate, man. We got all type of feasts. We got all type of holidays in the scriptures, man. High holy day that the Most High tell us we need to keep. We need to follow. We need to observe throughout all our generation, man. But yet we want to follow the way of the heathens, man. We want to learn their ways. We want to partake in what they do, and want to know why we're getting unalive on the street. Want to know why we in the condition that we're in right now. Want to know why all people strung out on drugs right now, man. Because we're doing the thing that the Most High tell us not to do, which is not to learn the ways of the heathens. And we're learning their ways, man. We're doing what they do. Because we want to be accepted. We want to be loved by them. So we want to pop fireworks. We want to say happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Like, nigga, it is not your independence. You don't have no independence, man. You will never have no independence as long as this oppressors keep ruling, as long as this devil keep being in rulership. Where you going to have independence at, man? Only time you're going to have independence is when you're back in your homeland, which is Israel. Then you could say you have your independence. Then this earth, then that's when the earth gonna belong to you, black man, Hispanic and Native Indian man. It ain't gonna belong to no one else. Then you could start saying happy Independence Day, whatever you want to say. But this not your independence. Because you don't got no independence, man. Because you under the rulership of another nation, especially a wicked nation, man. These people are wicked as hell. You think they're going to change? They're never going to change. The Most I tell you that they're not going to change. You can't change them. So do not learn the ways of the heathen, man. Don't learn their ways, man. That's what we tell our people. Separate yourself from America, meaning separate your spirit from America, man. We tell you that do that spiritually, mentally. You can't do it physically. No matter where you go, you're going to always be oppressed. But stop doing what they do. Stop celebrating their holidays. Stop partaking whatever nonsense, abomination that you see America got going on. Don't partake of that. Call these plagues and judgment. It's coming to America, man. All these things is coming to America for all the crimes they have committed, man. And if you don't want to be part of that, we suggest that you separate yourself from America and ghetto yourself, like the scripture say, ghetto yourself, or you ghetto yourself, or nation not desire. Because you are that nation not desire, black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. That's why they still consider you none. They still look at you like you ain't nothing but a property, man. That's what America still look at you as, a property that they could dispose of anytime they want. When they have no need for you, they get rid of you, man. They get rid of you. And that's how America operates, man. That's why we tell you, separate your spirit away from America. Stop trying to do what you see America do. He said, for the custom of the people are vain. He said, the custom of the people are vain, man. What you see America doing, man, it's a vain thing. It is nothing. They holiday, they custom, they culture, they are nothing. They are vain. These things is nothing, man. Don't follow the way of America. Don't do what you see America do. Don't celebrate Christmas. Don't celebrate 4th of July. Don't celebrate, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day. None of that, man. Because they custom is vain. It is nothing. It means nothing, especially this day that's coming up, man. It's a vain thing for you to go celebrate 4th of July because it means nothing to you, man. It has absolutely nothing to do with black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. It have nothing to do with you. So if don't celebrate it, because it have nothing to do with you, man. But our people want to keep celebrating it like there was free around that time. The Declaration of Independence was signed. Like when America got their independence from Britain. Y'all was not free. Our people was never free, man. We was still out there in them cotton fields picking cottons. That's what's happening. But yeah, we want to be quick to go run and scream Happy Independence Day. Nah, man. Damn America holiday. The most I hate America holiday. The most I hate every holiday in America that the oppressor have, man. He hate every last one of them. The Most High do not partake in none of them, man. He hate every feast that the America have, every holiday. The Most High do not like America. He hate America. He gonna destroy it, man. And we pray that our people wake up soon before it's too late, man. We're going to go to the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. And show you that the Most High do not is not with America. He hate when we celebrate America holiday, man. And show you that why these things is happening to us, man. He told you to not learn the ways of the heathen. Now you see why these things happening. Every time you're trying to do it, you're trying to learn the way of the nation. Something bad always happen, man. Something bad always happen, and it happens to you, black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. It don't happen to nobody else. The oppressor, the other nation, they could celebrate all the holidays they want, pop all the firecrackers they want. Nothing happened to them. But as soon as you light up a little firecracker, that thing is not gonna be home for. Next thing you know, your house caught on fire. Next thing you know, your fingers getting blown off because that thing went off too quick. So we're going to go to the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. Show that the Most High hate every holiday that America ever have in place, man. Because leading blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian to your destruction. That's all it leading you to, man. The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. He said, I hate and I despise your feast day. The Most High said he hate and despise the feast day of America. He hate every holiday that America have, man. He hate and despise them all. The Most High is not with this country, man. They be like, in God we trust, one nation under God. No. Y'all could trust, y'all don't got no God. This is not your God. The Most High is not your God. It's not no one nation under God. The Most High is going to destroy America, man. He hate and he despise their feast day, man. He's not with America's feast day. So that's why he's telling you not to learn the way of the heathens. Because he hate them. And you go trying to do what they do, and you get punished for it. No other nation get punished for it, but you do. And you get punished more, several times more than the oppressor gets punished for. Because the Most High gave you a law to go by. He talking to you. Because you're his chosen people, man. Because the Most High love you, blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian. So each time you do wrong, he chastises you for it, man. Because he said, learn not the way of the heathen. And he said he hate and despise their feast day. So if the Most High hate it and despise it, why you go partake in it? Why you go trying to celebrate it? Why you go trying to be part of it, man? When the Most High clearly say he hate and despise their feast day, man. He hate and despise every holiday that America have. And I would not smell in your solemn assembly. The Most High is not in the assembly. He's not gonna be part of that, man. He's not gonna. He ain't not enjoying America celebrating the independence. He don't care about that. Go ahead and celebrate your independence, but you black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, you can't do it. You can't celebrate the independence. Because the Most High say he hate it. He despised it, man. He hate and despise the feast of America. He not in the assembly of nothing America has to do. The Most High is not in this country. He's not with this country. The Most High is not with America, man. He's against the oppressor. He's against these other nations. Because why? For all the crimes that they have committed against God's chosen people. The Most High hate them, man. The Most High do not love them. So they could worship all this holiday that they want. They could worship all that. They could go pop all that firecracker that they want. They could go grill and barbecue all they want. But if you're a black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, you stay away from that. You stay away from them fireworks, man. You don't go to the store and spend thousands of dollars on fireworks just to pop and get your house burnt down and get your hands blown off, get your fingers blown off, or get your car set on fire. You don't go do that. You don't go follow America, man. Don't celebrate it because it had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with you being free. It had nothing to do with you having no independence. Because our people were still out there picking cotton in 1776, man, when America got the independence from Britain. So if you're a black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, Do not celebrate the July 4th, man. Do not celebrate 4th of July. Because it have nothing to do with you, man. And with that, World ISPK started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. The ISPK been established since 1969, teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they are the true Israelite according to the Bible. The ISPK is not affiliated with any other Israelite group. And with that, Shalom, Israel.